Okay, so regarding your questions, how to practice speaking skill on your own or with your friends, classmates, and speaking partners, and so on. So the first one is always about vocabulary, and the second one is about the grammar. But that's what most people think. Some people believe that they don't speak well enough because they have not enough vocabulary. But I think that is more of a secondary concern because um, if you cannot form thoughts in a structured way in English, then it's very hard to communicate with other people in real life, real time, right? So you should first try to make small chunks. If you don't know how to speak longer sentences, you can always break down into smaller chunks. So try to expand your sentences as you think in your mind and also as you write down if you want to write it down. But for verbal skill, you have to form chunks of words and then you expand your sentences as you verbally produce these sounds. So that's the first step I would recommend. I think you can train that ability with reading. So when you see a text, especially maybe a textbook like that is written in expository way, then you can read slowly. And when I say slowly, there are two ways you can slow down. You can just literally read word by word, absorb word by word slowly, or you can just read phrases or just chunks, maybe clauses, right? Stop after one chunk and absorb it in without translating back and forth into Burmese. And then you move on to the next chunk and then move on to the next chunk. And by reading like that, you are also training your brain to think in English. That's one way to do that. And then the other way is to just start speaking in chunks. Okay, so speaking in chunks is really it's really supportive when you are trying to form complex thoughts as if you were in a argument with someone or as if you were in a exam where you are tested for some complex production of speech, right? Then you should start with chunks. Then you will be able to do that in due time. That's how I would recommend everyone to do if they want to improve their spoken grammar. But that is for you, for Win and other people who are at the same level. But if you are a little bit not sure about how to improve and you believe that you are just starting out, then the first and foremost advice I will give is um, to slow down. So to speak one word at a time, just one word at a time. You improve your spoken grammar by speaking one word at a time. Okay, so I'm just trying to demonstrate here, but I think you get the idea. If you slow down, what happens is it will give you a control of your speech, and then it will give you some control of your breathing. And when you can control your breathing and the sound you are producing, then your nervousness calm down. You are not feeling any nervousness. Then you win the battle. I mean, half of the battle. Now you don't have to deal with the psychological aspect. You only need to focus on the grammar or the words. So that's a primary concern, spoken grammar. And then for vocabulary, I would just recommend you to try to imagine things and also link it with each other to associate older words with new words. So that's how you build your spoken grammar as well as your vocabulary. So that was a long answer to a short question. Did I
Yeah,
answer what you wanted to know?
yeah. The one part is about reading it. What I really like, like
Okay.
chunking.
Yeah.
Chunking reading. Yeah, chunk
Yeah.
reading. I like that.
That's actually how I
Thank you,
did
Sip.
it when I was about 17 or 18 years old. I read textbooks, like long textbooks. I read from front end to the back end like that, and that's how I improved significantly over a year. So that's what I always tell them. Okay, next question is from Dinyarna.
Yes, sir. For me, I have a habit like I've always writing down the notes, like long sentence for everything what I need to say or for everything what I have to say before I do presentation in my work. So I feel like myself, it's like I'm reading a book whenever I make a presentation in front of my boss, and I don't feel like it's natural speaking in English. So how do
Mhm.
I kick that habit of taking long sentences and to become natural presentation way?
Okay. Actually, that one is also linked to the previous suggestion that I gave just now. You can try chunking, but when you okay, I can hear my voice again. Okay, thank you. So when you speak in chunks, right? The good thing about chunking is it just doesn't help you to speak or build up your grammar. It also helps you to deliver your ideas more effectively. So even when you can speak fluently, right, or fluidly in C1 or whatever, right? That's not always how you have to speak. I mean, for everyday usage, yeah, you will have to speak naturally. You will sometimes, if you're excited, you can be faster, you can speak slower. That's fine. But when you are doing speech, you are giving speech on a stage, or when you're presenting some ideas to other people, when you are pitching some ideas, then you have to make sure that your ideas must be remembered. So, to make your ideas remembered, to make the audience remember your message, you have to make sure that they understand, they comprehend your message. So, if you speak too fast, just because you can, you shouldn't do that. You should not speak fast. So, chunking will help you to break things down, and then you try to incorporate some body language, just like I'm doing now. Because I'm a teacher, I have to deliver some ideas to the students, so I have to deliver some messages as effectively as possible. So I have this habit of using my hand gesture, my body language, sometimes facial expression and things like that. So if you incorporate those behaviors with your presentation, it starts to become natural and it becomes more attractive, and your messages are well received. I think that's what you can do to change your behavior and then move it to where you like it to be. Did
Yes, sir.
I?
I will try that. Thank you.
All right. Okay, it's already 7 minutes past 9 o'clock, so I have to stop this session. If you want to practice more, you have Teacher Hazel's class happening on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you on Sunday class if you can join. That's all for tonight with me. Bye bye.
Bye, teacher. Have a good night.
Thank
All.
you.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Good night, Jen.